Welcome to the State of Wyoming Subject Matter Minute, where we cover a wide variety of subjects related to State of Wyoming employment. This information is for you and me, the state employee. From hidden benefits to systems and processes, we'll make your job easier by giving you the lowdown, the how-to, and hopefully entertain you a bit along the way. And now, today's Subject Matter Minute.
Hello and welcome to the 69th episode of the Subject Matter Minute. For those of you who have been along for the entire ride, thank you. It's been over 7 years, and fittingly, if you were with me for that first episode on longevity pay, you have received at least one bump in pay because of it. Go back and check out the first episode if you don't know what I'm talking about. It's what started it all. Sometime in the past, I guess right before COVID, I told you that my generous parents were going to take my entire family on an Alaskan cruise. Well, COVID killed that, of course. But this is the year that I got back on the calendar, and I just got back from a 7-day trip on a celebrity cruise. Apparently, we are very lucky travelers. We had cloudless skies and temps in the 70s for 6 of the 7 days. Apparently, this is unheard of. It was a beautiful, beautiful trip and really allowed us to see everything. While I'm not entirely sold on the cruise type vacation, it was a fabulous way to see and experience Alaska. What an amazing place. We also had a great time with our family. Everything went really well. The problem with cruises, of course, is the amount of people, right? Our boat only had 2,300 people, not counting the staff, which is somewhat manageable for doing things on the boat. But when you pull into a port in one of these small Alaskan towns and there are 2 to 3 giant cruise ships also pulling in, right? You really can't experience anything but people. I'm guessing that over 10,000 people got off at Juneau, Alaska, which is a town of only about 30,000 people. However, we were lucky enough to score a table at the Alaskan Brewery in Juneau, and we had a uniquely Alaskan experience. A bear literally ran through the brewery. We heard a commotion and we thought, oh, somebody's fighting or something. Then we saw a man yelling and just chasing this little bear out the other side. So he completely ran through the brewery. So that was fun. Oh, and speaking of COVID and too many people, 3 of us, including me, got COVID at the end of the trip. I know, surprise, right? Imagine getting COVID on a cruise ship. Oh, and being sick is a perfect segue to today's topic. Today we're going to talk about sick leave donation. First of all, I don't need any. I'm fine. Having said that, I'm sure most of you have seen the emails that go out about donating sick leave, right? So I got all done editing this episode and it seemed like something was missing. Finally dawned on me that my subject matter expert didn't make it in. I want to thank Steve Alkire of HRD for helping me out. I'm not sure how it worked at all the agencies before, but we now have a statewide sick leave donation policy that standardized the process for all agencies. Thank you, HRD. I think this is a fabulous policy. The ability to help our fellow state employees at their greatest time of need makes my heart feel good. I'm guessing that there are some long-term employees, and probably a few others, that have been blessed with excellent health and have a few extra hours tucked away. And you can't take it with you, literally. The state only allows you to cash in a certain amount when you retire or leave employment. And just so you know, when you leave employment with the state, you can cash in half your sick leave up to 480 hours, or you can put the value of that same number of hours into your 457 retirement plan. Either way, you're only taking 480 hours with you, so to speak. While it's true that it would be nice to have as much as possible if we were to get sick or need some sort of ongoing treatment, personally, I think the good karma of spreading it around might be a better trade. Obviously, we need to keep a nice pile for ourselves, right? But hoarding sick leaves when we're doing well and others aren't, seems a little bit selfish, but no judgment. It's probably just me dealing with my own issues saying that, okay? But I'll tell you, it does feel really good to donate sick leave. Generally, I do it for those in my agency, but I'll sometimes go outside the agency if it seems like a position that doesn't pay much. Okay, enough guilt trip. Let's go to the meat and potatoes of the policy. You can find the links to, first of all, the A&I page that has all the links down below. I've also broken out the links to the policy and the procedure and to the necessary forms. So the sick leave request form and the sick leave donation form. Okay. The bottom line is that any employee in the executive branch who has exhausted all sick leave, comp time, vacation leave, and all other available leave, and who has no documented history of abusing leave, and who has a legitimate medical reason to be absent, may request sick leave donations. To start the process of asking for donations, we talk to our supervisor. Okay? Then our supervisor completes the State of Wyoming Sick Leave Donation Request Form, PER-2, and submits it to HR. It's actually PER-2, but being a super fan of MASH, I just wanted to say stroke. If you watch, you'll understand. Next, HR does what they do, a little verification and such. Okay? Then HR and the involved supervisor decide the level of request. Donation requests can go out to the division or the entire agency or the entire state. All right, but before sending out the request, HR obtains approval from the agency head. If the agency head denies it for any reason, then the HRD admin must approve the denial. All right, the only way it can be denied is if it meets the reasons in the policy and procedures or the personnel rules. So something like documented abuse of leave or not having legitimate medical reason to be absent. Okay. After this, the donation request is sent out and you and I have the opportunity to give. So if we decide to give, we fill out the sick leave donation form. That's form PER-2-A and submit it to our agency HR rep. Then HR does what they do, a little verification and such. They verify that we have a minimum of 80 accrued hours after the donation amount. Okay? They also verify that we are donating within the rules of how much we can donate. We can donate a minimum of 4 hours and up to 16 hours of sick leave per calendar year to the same person. All right. Now, if the person requesting is an immediate family member, there's no limit on the amount of hours you can donate, but you still need to have the 80 hours in your account after the donation. Then the donation needs to be approved by the agency head, which again can only be denied if it goes against the requirements listed in the personnel rules or there are documented abuses of leave and such. Then HR does what they do, which at this point is quite a few things. All right. You can see the list on the procedure document, and then they take the sick leave out of our accounts and transfer it. If for some reason it doesn't get used by that person, they'll transfer it back to us. Okay. So obviously that's probably way more information than you needed, but if you still need more information, again, take a look in the show notes. All the information is down there. As an aside, I once got a thank you note from someone that I donated to, and it made my day. So if you're unfortunate enough to need to request sick leave donations, consider talking to HR and finding out who donated, find out who the kind souls were, and throw them a note. Okay, that's it for today. Having been floating on the ocean for a week and also dealing with some good old-fashioned COVID, I'm way behind on my emails and I need to start digging. I'll see you next time.
You have been watching the Subject Matter Minute with Matt Nagy. Please help us out by subscribing. And join us next month when we'll cover another topic of interest for all State of Wyoming employees. Again, thank you for joining us on the Subject Matter Minute.